Hey everyone, it's Mallory here with All About Cats, and today we're taking a look at security cameras, specifically security cameras or pet cameras for your cat. Fundamentally, these are just home security cameras, usually indoor security cameras, that are marketed towards pet owners. So this can mean that they dispense treats, or some of them have laser pointers. They usually have pet-specific language in their apps. And I wanted to find out which of these pet cameras was the best and whether or not these pet cams are worth it at all. So I did some research and looked into the qualities of a good security camera as well as the qualities of a good pet cam, which features are going to be helpful for cats. And I selected 5 products to try out. So 2 of them are just regular security cameras, and 3 of them are pet-specific cameras. I bought all but 2 of them, and the ones from Petcube were sent to me for free so that I could give them a try. And after trying out all of these, I've come to the conclusion that for the vast majority of people, a pet-specific camera is not going to be worth it. Generally, these have fewer features and they cost more. And the features that they do incorporate, like a laser pointer or a treat tosser, aren't really going to be worth it for most of us. I think the most important things that you can get out of this type of cam are alerts when your cat is moving around, maybe a smoke alarm or carbon monoxide detector alert, and the ability to get reliable notifications about what your cat is up to. And in every case, the non-pet specific cameras that I tried did all of these things better and at a lower price. Again, my observations in this video are based on a couple of weeks of testing. So I set up all of these cameras out in my home and I used the apps. I looked at how well they detected motion, which types of filters they offered so you could filter out non-pet activity. I also tested out their speakers and their microphones. And I looked at which types of features they had that would make them particularly appealing for people with cats. And after all of that testing, I would recommend Eufy's indoor P24 security camera as the overall best camera for cats. So at $46.74, it's cheaper than most pet cameras, but it incorporates features that are going to be really good for people with cats. So in my tests, I found that it did a really good job of identifying pets and sent me a notification every time that a pet went in front of the camera. So I had it set on pet only mode, and I would get notifications whenever my cats were moving around using the litter box, using that room. It has a few cool features that are going to be particularly useful for people with cats. So for instance, you can set certain zones that you want to be identified and then set a pet alarm that will go off when your cat goes into that area. And that makes it useful for people who want to keep their cat off of a counter or something like that. Every time that it detects a cat there, you'll get a notification and it will make that sound. This Eufy camera has the highest video quality of any of the cameras I tested, with the ability to record at up to 2K resolution. It also has a speaker and microphone system. Of all of the cameras I tried, it had the best speaker.
I can't say that my cats were very responsive to the sound of my voice coming out of the speakers, but the audio quality is reasonably good, assuming that you have a strong enough connection.
And the best microphone quality. So standing about 3 feet away from the Eufy, it sounds pretty good. The microphone is capturing clear audio and there's not a lot of noise in the background. You also get really useful features like motion tracking, sound alerts, a lot of adjustability in how it works and how you receive notifications. And you also get a fair amount of freedom in how you store those videos. So you can either store them locally on an SD card or you can store on the cloud. Plans to get cloud storage start at $2.99 a month and then go up to $9.99 a month. So about average compared to other security cameras like this. And my next recommendation is also not a pet specific camera. I'll get into a few of those in a second. It is the Wyze Cam V3. And it does everything you would want a pet camera or a security camera to do at less than $30. So for $29.98, you get pet tagging, so it's able to identify pets, send notifications when you see a pet only. You're able to set certain activity zones, though it won't do that kind of scolding sound automatically when your cat goes into that zone. And one of the nice things about it is that you can set it to send you an alert when it hears a standard smoke or carbon monoxide alarm. So that's going to be able to give you a bit more peace of mind if you're away from the home with your cat left there. However, compared to the Eufy camera recommended as our top pick, the microphone and speaker quality are not that great. Of course, this is also going to depend on your connection.
The audio does sound okay, but because my connection isn't perfect, the messages aren't coming through as clearly as they could. There's a little bit of lag and choppiness.
I think the thing that I like the most about this camera is that you can do pretty much everything you need to do with this camera just using the camera itself and a micro SD card, which isn't included. Or you can pay between $1.66 and $1.99 a month for a subscription to their cloud storage. So let's talk about pet specific cameras. The first one I want to go over is the Furbo 360-degree dog camera. So this is very much a dog oriented camera. You'll see dog branding all over the app. Everything about it is oriented towards dogs. You get almost 360-degree views. And the camera itself has a 160-degree lens. So you're really able to see a lot and adjust exactly what you're seeing.
In addition to seeming to have pretty good video quality and the ability to control what you are seeing, the microphone and the speaker also seem to work pretty well.
And then you have to pay extra just to unlock some basic features. So there's no cloud storage option, and you only get 24 hours of recorded video when you do pay for a subscription. So the basic subscription only gives you 24 hours of saved video. You'll also have to pay for some other things that other cameras will do without a subscription. So for instance, you have to pay extra for the carbon monoxide detector alerts and the smoke detector alerts. Your Furbo Dog Nanny subscription does give you kind of neat pet specific things like chewing alerts and running alerts and barking alerts. But these aren't really so relevant to cats. So while I really liked the treat tossing function, my cats really liked it. It was something that became fun for them, and they would go into the room and look at the Furbo waiting for that, and it does work really well. I really don't think that the full functionality of this treat camera should be behind a $6.99 a month paywall or even a $5.37 paywall, which is what you'll pay for the cheapest option. It seems a little bit insulting that Furbo is kind of taking advantage of the heart people have for their pets to give them an overly expensive camera that doesn't even offer the functionality that you would get from a basic security camera unless you pay a lot extra. If you do want a treat camera, but you're deterred by the high price of the Furbo, then you might think about the Petcube Bytes 2 Lite. So this camera has a little bit of a bigger hopper. You can fit more treats in there. It has a good amount of adjustability, so you can use an insert to make it adapt to smaller or larger treats. And it overall works pretty well. I found that the treat dispensing worked well, and the camera itself works reasonably well. So of course it has the same 1080p HD video quality. You get a reasonably wide video angle, but there's no adjustability. You can't pan it to the side and you can't pan it up. And then it's not that easy to find a place to put it. So you can mount it on a wall, or you can place it on a shelf or something, but because of its large size, it can be a little harder to find an appropriate place to put it. So those are a little bit of tricky qualities. As I'm editing this video and putting together what were supposed to be my microphone samples, I'm realizing that over my testing period, I noticed more connectivity issues with the Petcube Bytes than the other cameras I tested. So this was a consistent issue for me, and I'm not sure whether or not it'll be a problem for others, but I thought I should mention it.
So I kept having connection issues with the Petcube Bytes, so the audio didn't sound great, but I think the speaker itself was actually working perfectly well.
And then you're also going to have to pay a bit more to unlock pretty basic functionalities. These include the ability to have any cloud storage at all, the ability to filter different videos to get custom alerts, and even the ability to download your videos at all. Plans start at $3.99 a month, and they can go up as high as $14.99 a month if you're paying month to month for a premium subscription. And the camera itself costs $109.95 on Amazon. And then finally, I tried a pretty basic camera, kind of similar to the Wyze Cam, which is also from Petcube. So it's the Petcube Cam, and it does pretty much everything that the Wyze camera does, pretty similar functionality, but you're also going to have to pay a bit more for the subscription. So the camera itself costs $34.99, so pretty cheap, but then you are going to have to pay for the Petcube Care again, just to unlock things like custom alerts, to download your videos, to get cloud storage. They're putting things behind a paywall and forcing you into a recurring subscription, which I find a little bit frustrating again. Now, one nice thing that I noticed about this camera is that it has a really loud speaker. So when you're talking into your phone and communicating with your cat, the noise comes out really loudly from the speakers.
So the sound quality is not perfect, but the volume is really high. So this will definitely catch your cat's attention. And the microphone on the Petcube Cam also worked pretty well.
So overall, I just wasn't really that impressed with this camera, and I certainly don't think that the pet-oriented branding makes it any better than a comparable security camera. So I hope this video gave you some perspective on what pet cams are all about and which type of camera is going to be best for your cat. I really do like the idea of being able to toss treats remotely, and maybe it would be worth it to get something like the Petcube Bites, but I really don't think that at this time there is a really good cat camera out there, something that incorporates a laser pointer, incorporates treats, and also has all of that strong functionality at a reasonable price in terms of that monthly subscription. It just doesn't really exist. So at this time, I would encourage you to just enrich your cat's life through regular play when you're at home, give them some treats, and then get a good camera to keep at home and watch your cat while you're away. I think that would probably be the best compromise and the most engaging for your cat. So again, I hope this was helpful. There will be links to all of the products I reviewed here in the description so you can check them out for yourself. Let me know in the comments if you use this type of camera to watch your cat, and do you agree, or do you think that pet cams are worth the money? I would love to hear your perspective in the comments. So thanks again, and I will see you next week. Bye.